Hi, this is Father Louis Skirty here at Borough Hall with Mayor Dominick Stampone of HALEDON, New Jersey, as you see in the logo. We thank you for joining us, and Dominick, thank you for having us.
Father Lou, pleasure.
Now, Dominick and I have known each other since he was a child. No, not really. Almost.
No, I would say really, yeah.
When did we first meet?
It would have been as a freshman at William Patterson, then college.
Right, William Patterson College.
So I guess that goes back now
What year was
a
that?
while. I started William Patterson College in 1989.
Okay. 89 might have been the first year I was there. Yeah.
It feels like you were one of the first people that I met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in other words, whether it be through a student organization or then Dr. Speart, the college president.
Right.
So it certainly was, if it wasn't the first year, it was close.
Well, my goal on campus was always to be seen, to be visible,
Yes.
and to be noisy,
Yes.
and I
Yeah,
achieved all of that. Okay, let's talk about, because here you are in a political situation. You're the mayor of HALEDON, New Jersey, and I'm fascinated by the fact that you came from William Patterson, so I'd like to eventually in our episodes trace your history.
Sure.
Tell me, in William Patterson, as a student, what was your major first of all?
I was a double major. I majored in history and communication. So and it really reflected my interests.
Right.
So I took print journalism classes, and William Patterson to this day I think still doesn't have a journalism degree.
Right.
But
right.
you kind of chose your specialty, and I enjoyed print journalism. And I think actually that's where our interaction increased, because I was the editor of the college paper at
That's
William
right,
Patterson. I was the
Beacon.
editor-in-chief of the Beacon. Yes.
Right.
And a funny story for some of your viewers, who I think may be subscribers to the diocesan newspaper.
Beacon also,
The
right?
Beacon.
Right.
I would often get letters to the editor addressed to the editor of the Beacon.
Of the church Beacon.
But it was a church Beacon.
No.
So...
And you thought, what am I going to do with this?
Well, I went ahead and printed them. No, I don't know what I did. I don't recall. But that was my interest. And then I also enjoy history and political science. And one day an advisor said, you're about one class away from a second major.
Whoa.
So I have a double major in history and communication.
Excellent. Was Ripmaster there then?
Of course.
Oh, God. He's his history of William Patterson.
Absolutely.
He was one of the radicals when I first came to William Patterson. I'll tell you a story about him. Then we'll continue with you. One day I get a call, and I think he practiced being tough and rude. He called up and said, "Hi, is this the priest?" And I said, "Hi, yeah, this is Father Lou, here at Campus Ministry Center." And he said, "I don't suppose you'd like to come in my class and defend your faith, do you?" Well, that's all I had to do. I roll up my sleeve. I said, "Well, what's this all about?"
Yeah.
History class, and he was doing history of the church and
Sure.
all that good stuff. So he invited me up, and I said, "Sure, I'll come up." So of course, I went completely prepared and all my books and references, and the whole class was mine. Gave a little overview, and then the questions and answers. The questions and answers were fascinating. It was wonderful, because he had been preparing them to deal with a weak representative of the church. Not that he didn't know me at that point. So we had a great class. I enjoyed it. He said afterwards, "Would you like to go for coffee?" Sure. So that was my fee for being his guest. We went to coffee, and after a few moments he said, "How would you like to teach in our department?" And I was knocked off the chair. I said, "You serious?" He said, "Whatever, you name the course, you create the course, and I'll have you teach it, because you really know your material." So I created a history of the church through art, because I'm an artist, I have an art background. And that course went on for, a good 5 years, until another professor, that was her major in Sarah, and I backed out, went into sociology department, taught there. But that was
How about
Terry,
that?
and we became buddies, became very good friends.
Sounds about right. Knowing both of you gentlemen, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Great
What was
story.
your impression of William Patterson at that point? William Patterson College.
Well, I've since learned that what happens is that when you live close or know of a place, you tend to minimize, what it's about. So I went to school with so many kids from South Jersey, who thought William Patterson was the best place. And to me, I wanted to go away to college.
Sure.
But I'm the oldest of three, and my parents, who are Italian immigrants, sent all three of us to college at the same time. We're only 30 months apart. There are no twins. I'm the
Wow.
oldest, then my mom, then my sister, and then my mom had my brother shortly thereafter. We were all in college
At the same time.
at the same time, only a year apart. I was a junior, my brother's a freshman, my sister's a sophomore.
Or William Patterson?
William Patterson, Montclair State.
Okay.
But we won't talk about
No.
that. No. And then all of us were in law school or graduate school together.
Isn't that amazing?
So, you know, I understand now that a state college was the option.
Yes. Oh, sure.
But what I wasn't prepared for was having an experience that I had, which is the most important and critical education of my life happened at William Patterson.
That's fascinating.
You know, grew up kind of sheltered in the sense that we grew up in an Italian enclave in Patterson, Haledon, Clifton, small town, grew up in Haledon. And then you go to William Patterson and it really opens up, you know, your eyes to the world. And met all kinds of folks and really consider myself lucky that, you know, the school that I kind of had to go to for financial reasons was the place I really believe I belonged at. So nothing but fond memories. In fact, shortly before you came in, I was on Facebook with the group of alumni that I went to school with.
Oh, that's great.
And we were
That's
talking
great.
politics and people's careers just minutes before you walked in. So
Right.
some of the closest friendships as well.
Isn't that great?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, had you continued that conversation, we could have had them on our show.
I probably could have. If I could figure out a way to add you to the Facebook Messenger, we would have done that. You probably know how to do that. I should ask you.
That's great. We'll talk about that another time. That's great. So the good friendships.
Yeah.
How about the education?
Again, the education level was now that I've had the opportunity to attend other colleges. I've been to law school. I attended Seton Hall Law. I've taught myself. In fact, I was an adjunct at William Patterson, and then I taught at a community college. Frankly, compares with any other institution, and in some respects, especially with some of the teachers I had, better.
Isn't that great?
And it's a credit. It's a credit to the faculty. It's a credit to Dr. Speart and his legacy.
Yes.
And we're very lucky to have William Patterson in our backyard.
Yeah. Right. Just for the viewers' sake, we're in Haledon, New Jersey. The next town, right up the road, is Wayne, New Jersey, and that's where William Patterson University today is. It was named university in 2000. Right?
Yeah, I would say it's about that.
Right,
Some about 15 years ago or so. Yeah. And just so your viewers understand also, it's actually a good portion in Haledon. About 70 acres of the university is in Haledon. And that is why Hobart Hall used to be called Haledon Hall,
Never knew that.
in honor of the fact that part of the university is in Haledon.
All right, interesting. Well, on that note, when I created the annual, we used to call it a Blue Mass, but we changed it to the Memorial Mass for 9/11, and we also reached out to all the towns that touch William Patterson, and so we call it a Memorial Mass for the men and women who are the public servants. So the towns that William Patterson touches is Haledon, North Haledon, and Wayne. And it's great. And of course the kids have to go through Prospect Park, and
Sure.
it's a great experience having been associated with
We're
it.
part and parcel. We feel that we belong to the university in a lot of ways, and part of the work I'm doing here in Haledon is to really incorporate more of a university presence in the community. So both the prior president and President Waldron are both on board with that idea. I think that if you travel through the state, and if you go to other colleges and universities across the country, you see that university towns really add.
They
to
have
the
a unique flavor.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think Haledon's uniquely positioned to do that. I mean, the college has a Wayne address, and our neighbors in Wayne are wonderful. But frankly, the way that township is laid out, you just don't see there being a downtown or a university downtown. Haledon does that.
Haledon has it, yes.
So,
yes.
but you're right. We really feel to be part of that university community.
Okay, and we'll talk about that in future episodes. I want to continue our conversation about your affiliation with William Patterson, your graduation, and then into the future of politics.
Sure.
But we'll continue later on. Thank you for joining us on this episode, introducing Mayor Dominick Stampone of HALEDON, New Jersey. And we're going to talk more about his future plans as a graduate of William Patterson, as well as his experiences today. Thank you for joining us. Mayor, thank you for having us.
Father,
It's been
good to see you
wonderful.
again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and pass this on to your family, friends, and let me hear from you. Father Lou, FR, Father Lou Skirty at hotmail.com. God bless you.